First of all, we did our spousal/settlement visa ourselves, as we thought that we should be able to do it, and we prefer to do it by ourselves if we follow the guidelines, the rules, and the process. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Funke Theresa, or Funke for short, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how I did my UK spousal visa. If I should do this video in one sentence, it's going to be a really long one, and that is why I have thought about it. And after getting inspiration from another YouTuber, I've thought about it, and I think I should do it like step by step so it doesn't get too long and you don't get bored. So today's focus is on the application form. But then, before we start talking about the application form, I'm going to talk about this. Before you start filling application or start thinking about getting spousal visa, you need to make sure that you check yourself for eligibility. Like, are you eligible to do spousal visa? Are your partner eligible for UK spouse visa? Make sure you do your research on that. It's going to be a series of videos. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the application form, how I filled the application form, and the details that I filled in for the application form. I feel like there's a need for me to talk about how to apply. So if you need to apply for spouse visa to enter the UK as a partner of your spouse or your sponsor, then you need to 1. complete the application form in English, 2. pay the application fees online or at the TLS or VFS contact in your country. In Nigeria, I use the TLS contact, and they have one in Ikeja, they have one in Abuja, they have one in Victoria Island, I think. Yeah, so I used the one in Ikeja. You can actually go there to pay your visa fee, but in most cases people pay online, especially the sponsor in the UK, which I really prefer personally. 3. you pay the health surcharge. The health surcharge is what you pay for you to be able to get free medication when you get to the UK. 4. you provide your biometric, which is your photograph and your fingerprint. This you go to do at the TLS contact. 5. provide your tuberculosis test results, especially if you're in a country that requires to have the test done. In Nigeria, we Nigerians, we are generally required to have the tuberculosis test done, and I did that. So I did make sure that I did a test before I submitted my application. I made sure that I had all of the documents that I need before submitting my application. 6. provide your passport, that's your international passport, and all of the other required documents. Those are the things you need to apply. So the passport, you're going to submit your passport obviously at the TLS center. I'm going to talk about all the documents that is needed in my upcoming videos, but today we're talking about application form, like I said. So you, the applicant, or your partner, who is the sponsor, can fill the application. You can either fill it in your country of residence or your sponsor can fill it in the UK, as this is online. So my husband was one that filled it in the UK, although we were both doing it via FaceTime, but it was one filling it in the UK. Yeah. So the spousal visa is also called the settlement visa because you're coming to settle in the UK. This is not a visiting visa, it's not a student visa, it's a settlement visa. You're telling them that you are coming to live with your spouse permanently, although the first visa you get is for 2.5 years, but they want to believe that you're going to continue, as long as you and your partner are in good terms, that you're going to continue renewing your visa until you're able to have the leave to remain, which means you don't have to like renew your visa anymore. So it is called the settlement visa. So I'm going to talk about the part 1 of the application form. The part 1 is about your passport and travel information. They ask about your family name, your surname. I used my surname then before I changed to my husband's name. So I used my surname then. Ask for your other names, and they ask if you add other names that you've been using apart from the one you're presently using. So you include that if you have. For me, I didn't have it, so I said no. They ask of your date of birth, your place of birth, your nationality. Also, they will ask if you've had any other nationality apart from the country that you're presently of residence. So they ask for your current passport number, not the one that has expired, the current one. So you do not need to include your expired passport number. So the expiry date of your passport, where your passport was issued, the issuing authority, and when the passport is going to expire, and also the country of residence. So they'll ask if you're a national of the country you're applying. Some people are not even from Nigeria, but they're applying from Nigeria because of some reason or the other. They're living in Nigeria and they're not Nigerian. So then you need to let them know if you're a nationality of the country you're applying from or from another country. Ask you if this is your first passport. For me, it was my first passport. Next, they ask you about the travel information. This is still the part 1 of the application form. Travel information, they ask you, are you traveling with anyone? For me, I wasn't traveling with anyone and I wasn't traveling with my partner, so I said no. They ask you the date of planned arrival in the UK. For me, we applied at the end of September. We added 31st of October because we were thinking I want to join my husband within a month. Do you understand? How long do you intend to stay in the UK? For a settlement visa, when they ask you, how long do you intend to stay in the UK? You say permanently. So they will know that, okay, this person is serious. The last part of part 1 of the application form is the details about your sponsor. This is the main address and contact details of where you will stay in the UK. Since you're coming to the UK from your country, they need your contact details. And for the contact details, I filled in his name, our address that we're presently staying, and his phone numbers and his email. So the next part of the application form is details about your family. That is the applicant's family. So they ask about my mother and my father. I talked about both of them nationality being Nigerian. They asked about their given names, their date of birth, and their place of birth. Next, they ask you if you have any dependent children. For me, I didn't have any children, so I filled in no. If you have a child or children, you fill in yes. So if you have children, they'll ask if the children are traveling with you. And if you fill in no, that you do not have children, they'll ask if any other children, apart from your child, maybe somebody else's child is traveling with you. For me, no one was traveling with me. No other children was traveling with me, so I filled in no. The part 2 is about your personal details and your travel history. They ask what is your permanent residential address. I put in the address that I was staying in Nigeria. Then I put my contact details, my phone number and my email. Also, they ask how long have I been at this address. How long I've been at the address. Also, they ask about your travel and criminal history. It's also part of the part 2. So basically, it's about your criminal history. They just want to know. It's not like the criminal history will stop someone from getting a visa. I do not think so, but it is just important to come clean and just be truthful so it doesn't tamper with your application. Also, they ask if they need to interview, because sometimes they might need to call you or interview you to offer some further information or for clarification of things so that it doesn't affect your application. So when they ask if you're called to interview you, what language would you prefer? I filled in English. So the part 3 is about family details, which is about your sponsor, that is your partner. The sponsor is the person who lives in the UK that is sponsoring your application. So they ask about the details. They ask what is your marital status. We said married, so even if you're in a civil relationship or your fiance or fiancé, you can still apply. It doesn't have to just be marriage. Correct passport or travel document. My husband used his passport. Then they ask what nationality are you? He said he's from the United Kingdom because he's a citizen. Even if your spouse is not a citizen, if they have legal right to be in the UK and they have been staying in the UK legally, of course they don't have to be a citizen for them to apply for you to join them in the UK. So they ask about my mother and father. It's also part of the family details. They ask of their nationality and their surnames and their other names. My mom and dad are no longer together, so they have different surnames, which it was okay and fine. So they asked me, do I have any children? I said no. If you have any children, you add it, you include it, you say yes. If you click yes for children, you have to provide children details as well. So if you have any other child with you that is traveling with you, even if they are not your child, you have to fill in their details. Part 4 of the application form is the employment details. They ask if you have you ever worked for any organization. I put in no because as at then I was self-employed. And they also ask what's your current working status? I put in I'm being supported by my spouse/partner, since I was going to stop what I was doing as a self-employed person when I joined him in the UK. So I just put in that my husband was one supporting me. Part 5 of the application form is the medical treatment. They asked me, have you ever received medical treatment in the UK? I said no. Part 6 is sponsor details. They asked for my husband's details. The other part was family details, so it was my husband, my mother, and my father. But now it's just the details about the sponsor. So they ask the name, they asked about the name, the given name, the date of birth, the nationality of my husband, and they ask of his passport or travel document. They ask all of that, and they ask of his the day his passport was going to expire and when it was issued. And they ask if he has ever held any nationality other than the UK nationality, and he filled in yes because he's a dual citizen, so he filled in Nigeria. So you have to make sure that what your sponsor puts in tallies with what you put in. You don't want to make mistake, and that's why it is always okay to fill your application and then come back to it. You can save your application and then keep coming back to it to make sure that everything is intact before you finally submit. The part 7 of the application form is English language. So they asked me, are you exempt from the English language? I said no, because I understand English language. And then they asked, how did you meet the English language requirements? So I put that I passed the IELTS life skills A1 speaking and listening to exam. Usually it is either A1, A2 or B1 that you're required to use for the spouse or settlement visa. So if you do the test for someone that is meant to do for education and you're coming for settlement visa, it will affect your application. So if you're doing a settlement visa, it's either you do A1, B1 or A2. I cause them to refuse your visa if you do the wrong IELTS test. Part 8 of the application form is additional information. So they ask, is there any other information you wish to be considered as part of your application? So I put that I'm applying straight after our wedding, so I'll be able to join my husband as soon as possible. We have to let them know that, okay, you know what, we're really ready to like live together and be together. So I feel like it's part of the things that boost our application, because we're making them say that, listen, we're taking the settlement seriously. So when we filled in the application, we're satisfied with what we filled in, and we've cross-checked and we realized everything was right, no mistakes. Then we submitted the application. When you submit the application, you make payment for the application, and we chose the priority. Priority is to hasten the application. Usually the application takes up to like 90 days for them to make a decision, so we wanted it to be quick, so we paid for the priority. So when we paid it in 2018, the application fee was $2,056 US. That was the price. I think you pay in dollars then, and then we paid for priority, which was like $300 then. But now, as of 2021, the price has changed. Everything has changed. We also paid the IHS fee. So as of 2021, according to what I researched, spouse visa now is like £1,523 if you're applying from outside the UK. If you're applying within the UK, in the UK, then it is £1,033. IHS fee is £1,872 if you're applying from outside the UK. If you're applying in the UK, it is £1,500. So the prices are different if you're applying outside the UK or in the UK. For me, we are applying outside the UK because I was in Nigeria, but some people, they have fiancé or fiancée visa and they can apply in the UK, so the prices are different. Priority fee is £573 if you're applying outside the UK, and it is like £500 to £800 if you're applying in the UK. The English is £150 whether you're applying in or outside the UK. So then in 2018 in Nigeria, I paid 75,000 naira for the IELTS test. Also the tuberculosis fee. The tuberculosis fee is like £65 to £110 if you're applying outside the UK, and £65 to £110 if you're applying in the UK. I think I paid like 50,000 naira to apply for the tuberculosis test. I'm going to do a video on where I did my tuberculosis test and all that, because a lot of people do not know that they actually have to do tuberculosis tests. I'd like to say this in this video, that because I'm sharing my experience and how I did my spousal/settlement visa application, doesn't mean that I'm a qualified person or an immigration lawyer. Please make sure you do your own personal research. I'm just doing this video to let people know how the journey went and how I did it and how it worked for me. So make sure you do your own research as well. So watch out for the next series. Please do let me know in the comment section if this was helpful and what other part you want me to talk about. Thank you for watching this video. God bless you. Bye.